tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hello and welcome to the Dark Matter After Show here on AFTERBUZZ TV. If you haven't already, go to youtube.com/AFTERBUZZ-TV and hit subscribe. I have a dancing co-host. This is so great. I'm loving it. I thought you were going to sing, Andrew.
This isn't the part of the song that I sing.
My apologies.
Oh, you guys.
I'm Yael Tygiel. We're so excited to be back. Season 3, episode 1 and 2. Being better is so much harder, and it doesn't have to be like this. Like I said, I'm Yael Tygiel. I'm joined by Tauri Miller.
Hey guys, I'm Tauri Miller. You can find me at Tauri J, T-O-R-I-J-Y.
And Andrew Mena.
I'm Andrew Mena. You can find me online at Andrew Mena.
I want to get to the part where you sing because it was so good.
It's not the beginning song. I feel like the end song is different.
I see.
Because the beginning song goes, it's very Star Warsy. It's very Imperial's March. It's like boom, bacha, boom, 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 and like,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
That's what it sounds like.
That's it.
We'll find it.
Imperial March.
Oh, we'll find it.
Let's jump into the Dark Matter Season 3 premiere!
Yay! We made it! We survived this long.
I have been dying for this episode, these 2 episodes really. Not just because I was really excited about when the show ended, I was like, more! But since December, it's been killing me from when I was in Toronto.
Because you visited.
I was there.
You
and
saw it all.
I got to see some of the stuff.
You touched some of the stuff.
I
And
touched
the people.
I didn't know such thing. That's all right. The pictures are online.
Yeah.
I just have been dying, and so we're back.
Yes.
What did you think
Oh,
of
man.
this?
Real epic.
Yeah.
Real, like there was so many feels. Like way more than I thought there would be. I thought it was just gonna be like, we're coming in and we're doing some action, some punching, some flying. But it was like, oh no, things happened and I'm sad. Oh.
Wow.
Aw.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guys, I feel things.
We didn't
I'm
know.
surprised.
I got
We
the
didn't
chip,
realize.
the Android chip, and now I feel things.
Full disclosure, we all watched it together, and I did not get that from
No,
you at
you
all.
did not express
were
that you were feeling
Interesting.
anything.
Fascinating.
Yes.
Processing.
Guys, the chip is new.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
you know?
That makes sense.
So you feel it now.
Right, I feel it now.
Okay.
Right. It had
Andrew, what'd you think?
I loved it. I mean, there was like we really did not get let down on what was essentially like this just enormous episode. I have so many notes and so many thoughts, and I think even though, and you guys know this because we watched it together, like I am irate about certain parts of this show.
We know.
I'm irate
Yes.
because I loved this show, and because this show does such a good job of like directing you in certain areas. Anyway, yes.
All right, well, we'll get to that.
Yes.
Yes?
Mosley says this is going to be our feeliest season
Ooh,
yet.
you
Oh,
guy.
no.
Yeah, we're gonna have real feels.
I don't like to feel.
At the end of the season, we get a whole new batch of numbers. None of them
Wow.
remain.
I really don't like feelies. I don't like
Oh,
to
no?
feel.
But
No, there's no
Okay,
but. I don't like to feel.
great.
I get it. I know.
Thanks, Mr. Malozzi.
Yeah.
Let's start with. Okay, so
Okay.
the first 25 minutes of the first episode, so much happened that I was like, how are we going to do this after show? So I tried to break it down. We're mixing both episodes. Stick with us
Yes.
through this conversation. I want to start with 6 and 2 in their escape. They escape together in the Marauder, and then we have this. 2 is like gonna save 6 by letting him have the oxygen.
Yes.
Which I was like, duh, because
Yeah.
I totally predicted at the end of last season that she would be fine out in space.
Yeah.
Because we know that she can live in
she's
space.
Superwoman. Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Though I felt like her plan, he had an oxygen tank,
Yeah.
so she didn't
Yeah.
need to like
So she
siphon
really
all
didn't
the
need to.
oxygen to him. But like, I think it was mostly because of her like martyrdom play,
Yeah.
where she's like, I'm gonna sacrifice myself because I failed the team.
She did the equivalent of the parent, like putting on the gas mask on their child and not putting the mask on themselves at all.
oxygen mask?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
It's an
Yeah,
oxygen.
oxygen
Is
is a
oxygen a
gas.
gas? Boom.
not.
Correct.
Dang.
Sorry.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Dropping truth
Yeah.
bombs.
Okay.
Anyway, so while she's dying,
Yes.
she starts to hallucinate. What I would call,
Would you call it a hallucination or a beautiful dream?
I would call it one of my 2 favorite scenes from this episode.
Yes.
One of your
Two
favorite scenes.
Yes.
Yep.
I would in fact say it's the second favorite scene, where
All right.
we got our Twix moment.
Yes, we did.
and then they immediately split them up, as you do with
That's
Twix.
And I was gonna
I
say,
get
do you
Thank you.
feel like it was an overtly like romantic moment of like the Twix kiss? Because you do, obviously. I just want you to talk about it.
I don't know what you mean. All I remember was going, this isn't happening.
Yeah.
This isn't happening. And as their mouths got closer, going,
Well, so-
she's going to disappear before they touch. And then they
and then they
touched.
kissed, and then they kissed, and it was beautiful.
It was amazing.
It was just a very like, and I don't know if this is gonna be like a lost sentiment, but I feel like it wasn't a romantic kiss, and as much as like a kiss can be non-romantic,
Sure.
it felt like a very like goodbye. Like it felt,
Yes.
it was wonderfully weighted in that way. Like it didn't.
I agree. I definitely don't. It
As
wasn't,
hot as she is, I wasn't going, yeah, get it, dig her nails, and like, you know what I mean? Like I wasn't like hyped about the like
so
kiss
I
matter of
wasn't
it.
Sorry.
a sexy
Yeah,
kiss.
That's what I'm getting
Well,
at.
but like it was a very like sensual, intimate kiss.
well, just
like,
because she's a sexual intimate.
Well, no, I think so. There was this moment on the second watch. There was this moment where two was like it was a very long shot on her, like really kind of like thinking and parsing through information as like Nyx is telling her these things and telling her being better is bleh, and that she's saying goodbye. And there's this moment where like when in her eyes she communicates that like I would love to feel your lips against my lips, like one of those things where you're like have you ever been around someone and they like touch you so much that like you're like I'd love to like kiss you right now.
No,
Yes.
explain
And I
it.
feel
Yes.
like it's that like you're so attracted to them and they pull you in such a manner that you want to be physically close to them. And I feel like in this moment when she's parsing through all that information and the illusion of Nyx is consoling her and telling her the truth that she wants to hear, you get that like moment in her eyes, and then it happens.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
To answer your question,
Mm-hmm.
Andrew, no, I don't think it was like a sexy.
Well, was it like, because let's also point out, like, they can't see this, but you call it like it's a 6-2. It's like their OTP like kind of thing. So like,
the
you know what I mean?
6-2 escape and
or sorry,
the Twix
sorry,
kiss.
Twix kiss. That's what I meant. It's the OTP name, right? So like, there's obviously a denotation of a relationship there. What I'm saying is, I don't feel like it was romantic.
I see what you're saying. Your
I'm
problem
saying
is,
it
your
felt
problem
like
is
a
that I call
family
them-
thing.
that I call them
Like,
Twix and
she's-
their ship.
Right.
I see.
And so there's and to me at least, maybe I'm super uninformed, which is totally a thing that happens. You know, that denotation is romantic, but it didn't feel romantic to me, and that's all I'm trying to say.
It felt romantic, not in a lascivious, salacious way.
I get
Right.
that.
It
I
felt
still feel like
romantic
it was like
in like they love each other, they're part of a team, they're sister friends.
But sister
Sister
friends, but sister
friends.
friends, but isn't sister friends family more so than it is romantic?
Girl, I don't know.
I'm just making a point.
Yeah. No.
But that's what I'm saying. Is like love is not just love, because there's the love of you wanting to be with that person, being with. Maybe we're splitting hairs, and we do not need to
I think you're
focus this
splitting
time on
hairs,
it.
especially because
But I thought it
of
was an
what I wanna
interesting
talk about
point.
next.
Yeah,
Right.
I thought it was
Well,
an interesting point. And yes,
Kiara Pilgrim says that she sort of liked how it was left up to interpretation, just enough but they also really
Yeah.
love the Twix. I mean, I'm sure that scholars will be talking about what the meaning of this kiss was.
Yes.
For decades.
long after our bodies are turned.
I
to
mean, because it is very much ambiguous, and it is what you want it to be.
and it is straight up, like you said, in her head. It is not happening.
Right.
So it doesn't matter, but at the same
But I think
time,
it
totally
matters.
matters.
The fact that it's
Yeah.
in her head makes it matter even more. Like the fact she says, "You know what I'm saying is right."
Right.
But also,
I love that a person who's talking to themselves says that. Like, you know what I'm saying is right.
because this is what I clearly believe. I'm telling it to myself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But also, it tells us more about how I was right in that 2 and Nyx should have been together last season instead of Nyx and 4.
You can want that.
Clearly, so did 2, because in her head,
Yeah.
she saw Nyx.
Maybe.
And she cried. You're right, there were a lot of feels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were a lot.
It's a feel season. I'm ready.
Speaking of feels, no. I want to talk about how 3 and Anders escaped,
yeah.
because Thrander's,
I was feeling that.
I felt it as well.
Was so fun.
So I read into a few things that probably were not supposed to be read into, but I read into them. So as Anders is trying to turn on the generator, because the temperature is dropping, 3 says to him, "We should be working together. Like you said, the temperature is falling fast." I believe what he was trying to say was, that you should unhandcuff me and we should huddle together for warmth.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah.
Right?
It was, you just come over here and spoon me, and then we'll save time, energy, and
Right. You're
warmth.
wasting your time. This generator's
Right.
off. We should just get together for warmth.
Our bodies are clearly a much more efficient method of heating.
Yes. Tari?
I don't think so.
Oh, weird. I think maybe you just weren't reading in between the lines.
Maybe.
You didn't-
I'm really bad at subtext. That's like not because that requires like real emotion.
Right.
Oh, okay. The chip doesn't have that.
No, and it only was installed today. So
So
you
didn't get to watch this with the chip installed.
Yeah. I'm only retroactively processing it, and
Got it.
to me, it was more that they wanted to be buddies. Like he was like, let's fix this thing together, and then high five, create sound waves with our hands is how high fives work.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you read in the thread.
It all
Yes.
checks out.
Well, so the other thing that we learned is that Anders and Six, or Cows, he kept calling him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dumb.
You don't like Cal?
I know that's his name, but he's Six to us.
Yeah.
That's true.
Anyway, so Anders and Six, they've known each other for a long time. And they were in training academy together, and they were
Go on.
friends. I think that they had a relationship.
Okay.
I think that Lieutenant John Anders, and Six used to be a thing.
Okay.
Maybe. So,
Yes.
I believe it.
I would think that, if not for a single line where Anders doesn't finish the sentence, but he goes, "I was the best man," and then he stops.
You think at his wedding?
At his wedding, which opens up a whole nother door, because was Six married at some point? What happened to her?
Well,
guys.
you're also presuming that in the
Yeah.
future you can't just marry whoever the fuck you
Sorry,
want.
what happened to
Six's.
Six's significant other?
Ex-spouse.
I
Yes.
think what you're missing is the reason he stopped the sentence there was because Anders is why the wedding never happened.
So he was like, "I was the best
Best
man
man.
for him."
I was thinking he was the best man
Okay.
at the wedding that didn't
Right.
happen because we were going to be together.
Yes.
Because, he was
I
helping me
was
with my
truncating
corsage.
that.
I'm kidding.
Or
Yes.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, soon we should be having, I think, the definitive answer on
Yeah.
Anders coming on.
We
with
need
us.
some answers.
But I think somebody in the chat wants to correct us.
No. Mr. D Style 9 thought the same thing about the warmth.
Yes.
Malozzi also says, "Ooh, good catch, Tauri J." And he wonders if we'll ever find out.
Does he say it like that?
He does.
Okay.
That's his cadence. Tauri J.
Yeah.
I love that you think that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm glad somebody else saw the "we should keep warm" aspect of it.
Yeah.
'Cause I definitely think.
I thought that they were going to go for it. I thought that was going to be part of the episode. Was like, oh no, the station's shutting down and we're locked inside. Oh gosh, there's nothing we can get warm on. Oh, and then they were going to hate warm each other, Like,
Right.
oh, I hate this. Shut up and hug me or whatever.
Yeah, I would have
loved that.
I like the idea of a scene where, like, in order to get to that point, they like went through all the boxes in the warehouse, and it was just boxes of ice, and they're like, "How does this work?
How do you even keep these on the shelf? This room isn't refrigerated." They're like, I don't
They're
get
just,
it.
all right, fine, last ditch effort. He's like,
man.
"I'm a bad man."
In the comedy version of this show. Yeah, that scene's gonna happen.
I love where your head's at.
Yeah, in Black Matter, the parody version.
Well, before we talk to Jeff, I want to take a moment
Yes.
to thank our fans. Thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you to everyone who is live in the chat. Do we have some names that you want to read off?
Yeah, we got Sarah Brock. We got Assy Queen Borhan. We got Ken from Chicago. As always, our favorite Joseph Malozzi.
Hey, Joe.
We
Hey,
got
Joe.
Mr. D Styles 09. Kira Pilgrim. What?
Nice. Thank
I
you.
don't need to add anything. The last one, that was great.
We ask you to do a very simple thing. Go to iTunes. Make sure you've subscribed. Make sure that you give us a review. If you like us, that's 5 stars. If you don't like us, you can give us 4 stars. And then bang on the keyboard. Let us know what's wrong, because we'll fix it.
Yeah.
I'll fix it. But we also want to tell you that we do the show for you for free. We give it to you for free. So enjoy. This is one of our sponsors, and we are going to take a minute to thank them. So, Leah Remini, Scientology in the Aftermath, was A&E's breakout unscripted hit of 2016. The Hollywood Reporter called it engrossing. The New York Daily News said the stories it tells are shocking and rife with sobering revelations and accusations. Now more ex-Scientologists are joining Leah to fight back. And Reality Blurred put it, that's the power of this kind of storytelling. So Leah Remini, Scientology and the Aftermath, for your consideration. Leah Remini, Scientology and the Aftermath on A&E. So thank you, Leah Remini.
Yeah.
Thank you, A&E.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you both.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about the corporate war that's happening.
Okay.
Because we start basically the episode right where we left off. EL7 is exploding, and Truffaut saves. That's how her name is said.
I know.
Say it again, though.
It's
Truffaut.
Madam.
Truffaut.
Madam.
Truffaut.
Okay, perfect. Okay, someone make a gif out of that.
Why? Why? What's so funny? She's French.
Totally.
But what is her name?
Truffaut.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Is that not her name?
No,
one
that's her
ever said
name.
that. We're just enjoying the way you say it.
You guys are the worst.
Here we are.
I don't know.
Truffle.
What is it?
Truffle?
Okay.
Truffle?
I can't do it.
Truffle.
Madam Truffle.
Madam
Truffle.
Truffles. Madam Truffles.
Well, she explains to us the way that the corporate war is going. And I gotta say, thank you to the writers for having this explained at least 3 times that I caught as to what's going on.
Yes.
Because we've had 2 seasons now of complicated corporation names and French people who work for the corporations, and none of the corporation names are spelled the way you would want them to be spelled.
It's all very confusing.
It's very confusing. And so we got 3 beautiful explanations onto what is happening with the corporate war. But before that, I believe do we have Jeff joining us? Hello?
Hello.
Bonjour.
If you'll kindly notice, it says the Skype says no answer.
I see.
Oh.
So that says that means no.
So
My
we-
apologies.
I'll keep
we
you
can't
updated.
see.
Thank you. I can't
Thank
see
you.
from there. All right. Well, okay. So here's what's happening.
Yes.
Ferris Corp.
Break it down.
What?
Yeah, sorry, what?
What?
Nothing.
When you laugh at the chat, it's
I
someone
wasn't
making
laughing
fun
at
of
the
me.
chat. I was laughing at
With
myself.
the chat?
Okay. Ferris Corp launched the preemptive strike and blew up EL7. Mike Truffaut is remaining neutral. They remain neutral in the council vote, as we recall last season. So neither side sees them as a direct threat. And we now have the people who are on Ferris Corp side and the people on the other side. And Mike in the middle.
Right.
Yes?
Let's play a little
Sure.
game of Mike in the middle. Mike in the middle.
All right. Go ahead, Tauri.
Slight correction.
From Melosi or from you?
From me.
Okay.
Technically, the station was blown up by Rio and not Ferris Corp, even though Ferris Corp originally intended to do so.
Yes. Okay. So correct. Very much correct. Rio actually blew it up, but Boybot. Oh, remember Boybot?
I remember.
I
Boybot.
do remember Boybot.
Boybot was supposed to blow it up.
Yeah.
Right.
But he had a change of heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he
'cause
blew it
of
up
5.
anyway.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yes,
But I miss Boybot.
Yeah.
I liked him.
it's true.
He
It's
was
true.
adorable,
Yeah.
He was a sweet little fella.
like a puppy.
Yeah.
And
Like
now
a
he's
little robot
gone.
puppy.
So we have this corporate war that we kind of been building to for 2 seasons.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's finally here. Yes?
Yeah, I mean it's interesting because you're totally right. It is very convoluted in the way that like it's all laid out because it's essentially like it's not hard for everyone like especially us to understand like hey, the people with the money have the power.
Right.
Great, we get that. But like how are you going to start a war as a corporation? Like do you have like just straight up private armies? Is that all this is? Like
Yeah. Like the
Yeah, pretty
corporations
much.
are the
Exactly.
governments now.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Which is neat.
Is it?
I think it is. I think
also-
because I mean it's the extreme of where we are now, in that like essentially right now a lot of governments have like corporate backing, which influences how they make bills and things like that. So it's the extreme in that instead of the middleman of the actual government, the corporations are the government.
Yeah.
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 Mark, Mark, can we try calling again?
I already did.
One more time?
Copy that.
Okay. So
yeah. I mean, I feel like they were in a what one would call a Cold War state, in that like no one was willing to make the first move, and so they were all kind of like living in a I guess a fair equilibrium. But this one thing was the one. Yes,
Yep,
thank you.
good.
Was the one thing that was the tipping point, and now they can actually essentially go into full-fledged war. So I mean, I get it. I wonder what the extent of corporate war is going to be, though.
I mean, I assume we're gonna meet lots of cool androidy people. They're gonna be the people fighting and stuff.
My biggest question
Cool.
about corporate war
That's my theory.
is that, like, everyone in a regular war is dying for their ideals, right? They're all dying for something they believe in or to protect a loved one who's at home. Like, is corporate war just the same thing, but, like, except without the ideals? It's like, yeah, we're getting paid. Also, I don't want my family to die in the oncoming onslaught. Like, what is it? Like, who are the soldiers besides robots?
Right.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, we all see the robots taking this,
because,
but...
right, so we have Dwarf Star, which is one of the corporations, and Dwarf Star are the people who are behind, that's Dr. Will Wheaton, who's behind 2.
Yes.
So we met the handsome man-bot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Victor? Or
No,
Vikram?
no. Victor's the guy who gave Android her freedom.
Yes. Oh, you're talking about
Handsome man-bot.
Handsome Man-Bot. So it's really hard to keep track. We need to give them real names.
I
guys.
like to give
Boybot, Manbot. I have 6 names for our Android.
Yes.
You guys got to step your game up.
Yeah. So, anyway, I imagine we're going to have a lot more super soldiery people participating in it.
Yeah.
I want to see who's on what side of the war. Like, that's the thing. We've been introduced to all of these different corporations. I would like someone to be like, okay, on Ferris Corp's side, we've got all these companies. On the other side, we have all these companies. And is Mike the only neutral one in the middle? Although she had a really great plan when she was saying, when Truffaut said that, that they're going to wait until everyone's weakened each other and then choose and be like, well, we're going to take over now.
And, like, also, where does Xyron, like, enter into all of this? Is Xyron they're not a corporation,
No,
right?
and they're having their own war.
And they have their own government.
Yeah.
So they're outside of the system completely.
Right.
Yeah. So that's interesting.
Starman 934 asks, whose side is the Galactic Authority on?
Who do they belong to?
That's an excellent question. I assume that they are similar to another show on the Sci-Fi channel called Killjoys, where they're neutral in that they can't pick a side. Their job is to maintain order.
Okay.
Which makes no sense in a war.
No. Yeah. How do you do that in a war? You just kill everyone, I guess.
I mean, you kill
I mean, you
Everyone's
just
dead.
you do the iRobot thing. You're like, well, I guess humanity is a burden to itself. Sorry. Y'all forfeit. And then the robots take over and everything's nice.
I like that idea. That is very
That's season 4. All the numbers are robots, and it's just really nice.
Malozzi says, the GA is not taking sides in the war. They're a force for law and order. War is chaos. Some would say that war is hell.
war. What
Some
is it
might say
good
that,
for?
yeah.
Some would say that, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so when we have stop it,
Hold the stare.
girl, we're in the middle of a show.
He's holding it.
Okay.
Sorry, I went somewhere.
Man, all you guys listening on the podcast, like, you guys are missing out.
I don't know that they are.
No, they are.
So we have this really great scene early on in the episode where there are intruders on the Raza. We have 5 with Bubba, and she takes out some people. We have Truffaut shooting some
wonderful, by the way.
people. And then we have the android
Equilibriuming.
talk to us.
Oh man, there's a movie called Equilibrium, and Christian Bale uses what's called gun kata, which is essentially just pointing the guns in a direction to, like, maximize the amount of people you murder. And that's what the android was clearly doing.
Yeah.
Yes! 100 million points. I was so excited when that happened. I was like, it's amazing. She's not even looking. It's all her processors.
I mean, her eyes are all of the camera.
Mm-hmm.
I have
And she can probably log into the
Yes.
ship through
I have a-
Neuralink.
That's true.
Yeah, so she has all the eyes.
She does.
I have I guess, not clarification, but a addition of information from Joseph Malozzi
Always
saying,
helpful.
Zyron's war is a separate regional conflict, although Rio knows Zyron's enemy, Pier, is being backed by a corporation, which is why he destroyed EO7 to distract them. Boom! Boom! Brr, 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 gun noises.
Okay,
Love it.
But so we can confirm that I was right that it was a separate war.
Yes.
Yeah,
I got something right.
yeah.
We always believed in you.
Thank you.
I
So
don't believe
we had this really amazing family dinner scene
Yes, that was really lovely.
where the android made a casserole. Can we talk about the casserole?
Sure.
Tell me, what is a casserole exactly?
It's a collection of things baked together.
usually
Aren't
with
they
egg
usually,
and,
like,
cheese.
Solidified.
Yeah, it's
Maybe.
usually very similar to like a lasagna or enchiladas. Like a casserole is like a big dish that you can share with a big group.
But like it's usually cohesive.
Right, absolutely. It's usually all bound together. It's not usually separate bits and pieces.
Like a salad.
Like a salad is not a casserole, you know. Like a square is not a rectangle. Or no,
Yes.
it is.
Let me ask you this. What does a space casserole look like?
Fair.
This
That
is
is a fair question.
Yes.
Because what that was not like an Earth casserole.
no.
Yes.
You're right.
That was a salad.
We were operating on Earth terms,
Right.
Where that is not a
So,
casserole.
you know, because if you're trying to put all this stuff in between the casserole and like the artificial gravity goes out,
I mean,
you got liquid everywhere in the systems, in the machine.
see.
But if
Yeah.
you
That's a good
put it all
point.
together and you bake it and you put a little basil and love in there, love is holding it together, really.
Yep.
Love is
Holding
is keeping it together in the same way it's keeping the crew together. Part of the crew, part of the ship.
Wow.
That was nice.
Thank you.
Well, so during our family dinner, we have like a family meeting where we discuss what the plan is going forward.
Yes.
Yes.
And 2 says first step is to take back the blink drive. Second step is to kill Rio. And 6 is all like, yeah, no, it's totally like fine if we like do a little bad stuff because we need to stock up on like food and weapons and whatever. I was like, that's not like 6. But 3 was like, we're just gonna kill everybody. So it's really nice to have this sit down where they go, here's the plan for the season, everyone.
Yeah.
We're gonna get the blink drive. We're gonna kill Rio. We're gonna go after Ferris Corp.
These are our plans.
Yeah.
Whether or not they happen, we'll find out.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, no, I liked it too. And I don't know, I was interested, like, I didn't catch that 6 was just, like, super okay with killing Rio. I thought that he was not commenting on the fact that he wanted to kill Rio, because he's basically the guy, like, we'll see if you can. That's what I thought his response was, yeah, you try. Like, you get close enough, he's going to sword you, like, kind of thing. Basically, like, we'll see, was the face I saw made.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know, because I also don't know how they all feel about Rio, and I also feel like, especially with his past and his like betrayal story arc and stuff, like he is the most in a position to forgive to forgive Rio for what he's done.
Yeah.
And he, yeah. And so we'll see if he gets the information, because like that's another thing. It's like he gets so mad. It's like, you killed Nick. It's like, no, he didn't. He's so all right. So we'll see if they get the correct information at any point here. But I still think that 6 is in the best position to like forgive him out of anyone.
I love where your head is at and where you want to go with this conversation, and we will in a minute. But it looks like we finally have Jeff Teravainen joining us. Hello.
Jefe!
Always this way with me. Anything electronic, it's in trouble.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad you're here.
From space, nonetheless.
Yeah, from space.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't know if you heard, we were talking about the beautiful Thrander's scene where 3 jumps on Anders and they just are in this beautiful embrace of
Beautiful.
love.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was a really great scene. We were discussing our theories here on Anders and his history with Cal.
Yes.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about that? Because we heard the sentence end with, I was the best man. ...
What
Yeah.
What do
This
you
is
know?
One of those mysteries that's going to have to play out.
Can we just ask you this? Do you know
Sure.
what the end of the sentence is?
Sorry, what was what?
Do you know what the end of that sentence is? What information we don't have? You don't have to tell us what it is. I just want to know whether or not you know.
Yeah, I know. There's
okay.
there's something to go.
Cool.
But that's Joe. He's always got a surprise somewhere, right?
Oh, I know. He's got a million surprises. That's part of it. We're doing the Easter egg hunt, trying to find them all.
Is it possible that the answer is that Six and Anders were a couple?
Oh.
Maybe. And now it's Thrander's.
All right.
I mean, yeah.
Or something.
Yeah, Tauri, you look like you have the thoughts.
I know. I'm literally trying to figure out what the ship name would be.
For Cal and Anders?
Yes.
Clanders?
Well, now like a 3, wouldn't it? Because the history with 6 and then 3 and everything.
So it's a 3-way ship?
It looks like it could
Like
be that. I
like a
guess.
triangle ship?
Clandry?
Clandry?
I'm so excited I got on with you guys because it's been I've been panicking for the last 10 minutes. So.
Well, I'm so glad that you're here. We clearly love this show so much.
Well, glad to have you.
When did you find out that Anders was going to be coming back?
Joe and Ivan hinted to me at the rap party. We were trying to work some things out in the story. I don't think that Anders originally was supposed to be in as much as he ended up getting in. So I guess Joe has a 5-year arc he always talks about. And I guess when something like Anders or some of the other characters that have stuck around come up, he's got to figure out a way to work it into the broader story. And thankfully he does, because I love playing Anders. So it's a great role. The people they're like it's a set that's like a family. And I know that you probably hear actors say that stuff all the time, but they treat me like a good close cousin, you know, and the cast would be the immediate family. But it's such a great place to go to work at. Great environment. Everybody's in a good mood, pulling at the same direction and that. So.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I know that after we first met Anders last season, the fans started a campaign online with Save Anders.
Yeah, we were, because you gave him to us and then you took him away.
Yeah.
How could you do that?
Poor guy just gets shot a lot.
I mean, yeah, but you know, he's a resilient fella.
Yeah. Maybe he'll develop an immunity to bullets.
I was gonna say, maybe we're gonna find out that he's got a Logan thing going on.
It's true.
Yeah, you never know. I was thinking too, maybe he's like a cyborg guy or something like that.
Ooh, I like that.
Ooh.
Anders is secretly a cyborg who has infiltrated the GA, and then we find out that he's part of a whole robot cell that's infiltrated the GA. Oh man, you guys!
Look at what you did.
You've sparked some theories.
Andrew, short for Android.
That's what it is.
You guys are talking over it. We can't hear a word
I'm
he's
sorry.
saying.
We're so excited.
Yeah, it was a great episode, huh?
Yeah. You could say that again.
When I read the script, I was so pumped about it. Obviously, my stuff too, but like everything. There was something for everybody in that episode. I felt, especially with the scenes with Melissa and Nix and that sort of. It was just a really, really well written episode.
Yeah.
We were definitely fans of that scene.
Yeah, and it's cool that you say it's well written too, because like the effect was very obvious on us. Like we all feel very strongly about this episode, but I would love to see like a written version, because how do you like when you're reading the script, are you feeling all of the same stuff that you did? Because I assume you've already seen this episode too now.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I like that one scene with Tu and Nix. I teared right up actually when I read it.
Wow.
And I remember thinking at the time, like, this is going to be an incredibly powerful scene for the fans of the show. Like, they're going to love this. And it was a good way to sort of send her off in a really touching way. And it really opened up a lot of questions for Tu as well, because, you know, she was sort of responsible for what happened in the end of the day. So
yeah, exactly.
You read the script and you just use your imagination and trying to make the most of it there. And it's so cool when you finally get to see it come to life and actually see how all the effects and everything, like when I was dragging 3 up that mountain, it was so cool, because you walk on set that day and you see this big dirt hill being with a green screen behind it. And you're like, what is this going to look like? But when I saw it, it was like, this is cool.
Yeah.
How many times did you have to drag him up that hill?
Oh, yeah, he was a lot heavier than he looks, huh? Did like what, 8 takes or something?
Oh goodness.
I was definitely more than 8 takes.
Yeah, it seemed a long time, and my hands were raw.
Oh man.
Thing.
You do have to
And,
suffer for your art.
I kept hanging into him and hitting the head with a gun and all that kind of stuff as well. So.
Jeez.
And the dirt that he was like, the gravel, that was it was tires, right?
Yeah, like rubber things, right? Yeah. I don't know what it looked like. I had to watch the episode from our hotel bar, because they didn't have the channel in the room. So we had like a little viewing party, which got out of hand. I sound like I do and probably look like I do, but
Yeah.
it was fun.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us. You
Yes.
probably need to recover from your weekend. But until we see Anders again, because I'm calling it, we're seeing Anders
Yeah.
again.
Oh, he's coming
Oh
back.
yeah.
I actually really think Anders is going to join the team in season
Yes.
4.
As the awesome
Never
new
love
robot.
that. You keep that theory going around. That would be a good day.
Yeah, that's going to happen. I've
Yes.
decided.
When he comes back, I mean, honestly, like I said, I love playing him. So whenever I get the call that, hey, I think you're on hold for these dates, it's like I jump around and scream. And but if it was something more permanent, that'd be good too. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where can people keep up with you on social media? Because you are big on your socials.
yeah, I just do spend a lot of time on that. Well, Twitter, AFTERBUZZ on Twitter and Instagram. I love photography, so I'm always posting pictures and stuff like that on there.
That's awesome.
A little bit of stuff on my so-called career and that. So
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Have a good rest of your weekend.
Yeah.
I'm waving as though we can
Thank
Yeah,
see
you.
we're waving as though you can see us.
all right, well, listen, guys, thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Bye.
Andrew,
What?
let's talk about Rio.
Okay.
So we get
Sure.
to meet Teku, who,
Who I loved.
yes, who is now a royal advisor, and he says that he will serve until his dying breath. And
Which
Misaki
is-
like holds her sword. I went, he's about to lose his head.
Yeah, and like also like everyone else in the room, do you not see her doing this? She is not trustworthy. This is a person who I can't with her. She's so volatile. Like if I'm the king or the emperor or something,
Yes.
and I'm like, yeah, great, it's so good to see you again, friend. And then my person to the right is like grabbing. Can you stop? This is my friend. I haven't seen him in a long. Can you actually just leave? Kind of bringing us all down.
Oh.
It's a really weird vibe you got.
Okay.
I just
Tari?
wish someone would say that to Misaki.
Tari?
Well, I mean, in her defense, everyone else in the room was also very hesitant as Rio was making his offers, both offers, and then especially when Teku didn't renounce his previous offenses. And so, like, everyone was really, really nervous, but she was the one who was very aggressive about it, which makes sense because her character is very much geared towards the I guess the elevation of the throne, not necessarily, and you know, Zyron and its people. And so anyone who at any point has worked against it, she is definitely going to be wary of.
I mean,
Yes.
but that also, I mean, but true. And while that's true, she's wary of things that she doesn't understand or really know or trust. Like she's just very out for, yeah. She's trying to be loyal, but it's so misguided. It's like it's yeah. It can't even eloquate because it is a very classic archetype of the villain to have a real shitty, really ambitious second in command who's just like, I'm gonna do all the things you think should be done. Isn't this good? Like they're a weird puppy. They're the weird little brother who's just doing everything. And it's just like, come on, man, you
So-
don't have the vision.
We have the scene where Rio finds out about Nyx and realizes that it was Misaki, and he like threatens her, and she says she was a distraction. And I think that Tari's totally right in that her whole journey in life is to protect this this empire,
Right.
and so she's doing what she has to, or what she thinks she has to.
I guess so.
That said, Teku is totally going to lose his head, right?
Yeah,
Probably.
The
really
story, the
unfortunate.
story that she tells him, the story that was a threat to him about her growing up and beating this guy who was bigger, and that they took it out on her. I was listening to the story on the second watch, and it's also very much such a story of how women are treated. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm so angry. I was like, I'm trying to get back into the show, and I'm watching this being like, I know, girl, I know.
I mean, it's true.
Yeah.
And I also like the subtext of she's willing to wait as long as it takes to get what she wants, and
Yep.
and it doesn't matter if the moment you think you're safe is when she's gonna come after you.
Yep.
She'll take your eye, and then she'll take your life. Really quick about
Yes.
Misaki. Randomo24 says, "Am I the only one who really likes Misaki?"
Yes.
And that actress, ever since Scott Pilgrim, which I did not put together that she's Knives Chow.
She is Knives Chow.
I did not even because she's so grown now.
Is she?
Like Knives was, yeah.
She was the exact
Knives
same.
was like a kid. She was playing like a 17-year-old kid.
I'm gonna contradict you right now. She is playing the exact same character, and I hate it. That's why I hate it.
What are you talking
She's
about?
playing Knives Chow. She's
Knives-
playing evil Knives Chow. And Knives Chow is already a little evil because she's essentially doing to Rio is Scott Pilgrim. It's the same thing. Like she's just being crazy about a different person.
You're wrong.
And I'm okay. You're allowed to feel that way.
Everything you say is wrong.
That's
Welcome
fair.
to my life, where everything I say is wrong. All right, so they have the Blink Drive, Rio's team, and it's housed on their research facility deep in a nebula. And we figure this out because 5 is doing her memory stuff, and trust me, we'll get to 5 and
Ooh,
her
those
memory
memory
stuff.
jumps.
But we have this heist. The whole second episode is this heist.
Yes.
Which I love a good heist. I thought it was too soon for our team to get the Blink Drive back. The fact that they're afraid to put it in the Raza because the scientists tampered with it, totally love. But it was real fast to get it back.
It was real fast, and I felt really really sad for everyone on that research station.
All the scientists?
Like the ones that they're like, you need to save them, and then like, oh well, this woman screwed you over, so now you don't get to even get saved. Like that's not even a thing that we're even gonna come back to. Like,
but it was her fault. That woman was awful.
absolutely, no,
That's the woman you should be hating.
No, but inarguably she was awful.
No.
Inarguably she was awful, and she like got her little like get shot in the back thing. It was just very.
I was really
It wasn't even
bummed
satisfying.
that we didn't get to see the nothingness eat her.
Yes, that's actually
That
a
was-
note I wrote down
yeah,
too.
Like the way that we saw the nothingness and that it was like closing in.
And it ate that little thing that 3 had.
Yeah, I wanted it to his protein bar.
Yeah, whatever it was.
I wanted to see like her like when she bent over at one point to throw it out. I was like, she's gonna lose a head. It's gonna be so good.
Yeah, I wanted. Yeah,
Headless body.
I just
No.
wanted them to like kick her out that thing and then shh. Oh, she's gone.
Oh, I wanted it to just slowly like go up or down.
That would be nice.
One way.
That would have been
Guys,
nice.
she was just being really loyal to her
This
emperor.
is the thing. Is like everyone in the Zyron story arc has this idea of loyalty, and this is probably going to come to pass because it's a big theme that they're playing with.
Yeah.
The idea that loyalty like it just means just murder yourself. Murder yourself. It doesn't matter. Just die. Just die. That's better for the country. It's like, no, it's not. What world are we trying to live in? No. Why is everyone so willing just to die for no
Interesting.
reason?
But it's an older mentality in terms of war and how you show your patriotism.
right, and it's all about tradition in Zyron, and I
Right.
get that. But it's also just very like so misguided, and it's always it's always this feeling like for me. It always just makes me feel like, all right,
He
great.
flipped his notebook.
Cool, I flipped my notebook for those of
flipped it
you at
back.
home.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating. It's like, great, cool, you're loyal.
I love
Except
how
you're not,
frustrated
and
you are.
everyone, you're not loyal. You're misguided and sad, and I just feel this intense pang of empathy. And it's not even fun. It's just pity. It's pity and sadness.
But to them, they are doing the most honorable thing that they can do, which is giving their life for kingdom or for empire and country. You know, it's like in, let's say, the Revolutionary War, where it was people's dreams to die in the war representing their newfound colony.
I'm going to read over your shoulder that loyalty is different than stupidity and agree with Renji 90998. Because like there's such a line between doing something that you think is going to forward like and I see Yael getting physically uncomfortable about this conversation because she has
What?
nothing to say about it because
Yeah, you had
Whoa,
nothing to say.
whoa.
so I think
Whoa.
we should move on.
First of
I think we
all-
should move on because I agree like this is probably too long on the whole idea of this but that said I just feel so frustrated by
Girl, don't tell me
this
how to run my
overarching.
show.
No, you don't. You can do whatever you want, but I just feel very frustrated with this overarching sense of loyalty, and I don't know how much more specific I can get about it. So
I really,
I apologize.
really hope that the rest of the season continues to annoy you this much.
Yeah.
That is my hope and gift to you.
They're just I love my team and I'm just so precious about them and I think all this loyalty masquerading.
I feel like
so
part of it is that
silly.
you are still considering Rio as part of the team.
Yeah, he is.
No, 4 was part of the team.
He is.
This person
4 and Rio are the
is
same person.
Rio.
You gotta accept that 4 and Rio, like they're the same person. They are within the same body, and like things that he does now are motivated by the past of Rio, absolutely. But things that he does now and things that he is now are motivated by who 4 is. So I totally hear you, and you can feel like he's not part of the team, but he's definitely still part of the team. In my eyes.
Yes, I agree with Andrew in that.
You get out.
Okay. Well,
Well, all right,
see you
that's
guys
our show.
later.
We'll
Find
see
me
you
at
Go
Tauri
on.
I feel like, or at least I think that he still feels like he's part of the team. That he's just doing his duty,
Yes.
and they're still his buddies. Like he's had like. Malozzi earlier had pointed out that he could have held them prisoner after he took the throne and forced them to give up the blink drive, but he didn't. Like, he let him go, and, like, even when he had that call with Android, he was very casual, and he was essentially acting as if nothing had ever happened to them, because he's doing all of these things because he feels like they're the pragmatic choice.
So as Misaki says to him, you still think of them as your family, and you are going to end up having to deal with that. Is that not what she said to him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he will have to deal with
But
that.
he's not part of the Raza anymore.
I think he'll
not-
have to deal with that she feels this way, and then he's gonna have to kill her.
Well, we're gonna move on in a bit.
Before you do that,
Go.
Do it.
Malozzi says
Tell us
Andrew is correct.
about everything.
He has about a year's worth of 4 memories and a lifetime's worth of real memories.
duh.
In his mind, the betrayal and their presumed hurt feelings is worth it to save his homeworld.
Right.
Whatever. No, that makes sense. I would like to. No, I know it's not predictions, but I'm gonna say it anyway.
Yes.
Misaki and Rio are gonna hate do it.
Yeah. I don't want it.
No.
Maybe.
I predict. All right. Lastly, we need to talk about 5 because this was huge.
Yes.
Yes.
So 5 at the end of the first episode is talking to Sarah and says welcome back, and that's all we get of that. Anything to say
Yeah.
on that, or should we keep going?
Keep going.
Great. So we have these flashbacks that she's having that she's not controlling, not using the thing to do, to when she was Daz.
I mean, it seems
Which is when she was not going by Emily, which is her name. She was going by Daz, and there's the old guy who they tell us his
Baines?
name. Sure. They
Yep.
go, his name is Baines, not just the old guy. And I went, I'm just going to put the old guy.
Yeah. They looked at the camera and were like,
Yep.
Yell,
He has a
remember
name.
his
I
name.
wrote down the name just
I
because
did.
I felt so guilty.
I wrote the old guy. So then these memories seem to be taking over, and if they don't do something soon, she's going to be stuck in her, I guess it's kind of like a coma of memories,
Yeah.
right? And as they're fixing the problem, the old guy tells her that she has a sister.
Yes.
And that the sister was adopted when she was a baby by a wealthy family. And Android says when they fix her that she may lose some of her memories, but they have to do some sort of wipe. So we don't know if she lost any memories that she got as 5 yet.
Yet.
Can I
Yes.
talk about the scene where she finds out that she has a sister?
Yes.
And I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Malozzi, but it felt like a very direct reference to Star Wars, where Yoda's like, "There's another," and that is
That was so good.
That was really good.
Thank
really
you.
good.
I wasn't looking, and I thought it was him.
Leia's story in that she was adopted by a well-to-do family that has a lot of influence. Like 5 is Luke Skywalkering right now.
Oh, snap. Are you trying to say that her sister's Misaki? I would hate that so much.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I would hate that so much. That's probably
be
what it is.
awesome. It's
her
not.
sister's
It's
not.
Misaki.
Because
No.
Misaki's definitely super Asian, and
It
she's
doesn't
not.
matter.
I think
Didn't
it
he
does.
say something about they adopted another? The sister's adopted.
No,
the sister's
no,
not
the
a blood
sister
sister.
got
She's a-
adopted.
She was
Oh,
adopted.
okay. I heard the word adopted, and I was like, oh, okay, so like not blood, but still important.
No. Blood sister that was
Okay.
adopted by someone else.
I still think it's
because her
Misaki.
parents died in an accident.
Yes.
It still has to be Misaki
So-
because I would hate it.
I think at
Too
this
small of a
point
universe.
we need to head into, but before we do, I have 2 corrections that need to be said. Last season, for a lot of it, I talked about how beautiful Anthony's blue eyes were, and I got a stern talking to,
Oh.
that his eyes are in fact green.
Oh my gosh.
I needed to
How
correct
could
that.
you
I disagree.
for so long?
I know, on the screen they look blue. In person, apparently he claims they are green.
You're allowed
Well,
to disagree.
he's got to come sit on this couch so I can
See his eyes?
see.
Okay, and the second correction was the promo that I believe aired was for episode 4.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Malozzi could correct us in the chat, but I'm pretty sure that he had tweeted that the promo that aired with the ukulele singing and
so
an
fun.
android with black hair
Yeah.
was episode 4, not next week's episode 3.
Okay.
Okay.
So those are the 2 corrections. Now let's head into predictions.
Yeah.
AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Without a promo, we know it could go anywhere.
Oh, so many different
That's
places.
true. What do we think is going to happen for the season?
For the season,
Yeah.
I think by end of season, Anders is joining the crew.
Yes.
All right. I dig it.
As an android.
No.
6.5 he will be.
Yes.
I have
That's
a
so cute.
It's so cute.
right?
6.5.
I have a long-term prediction.
Okay.
In that we've already talked about how we believe that 4 still believes himself to be part of the team, and we've also talked about how Misaki is very ambitious. So my prediction is that she is the actual like season. What season are we in? 3?
Yeah.
Season 3 bad guy.
Oh.
So I think that she's going to turn on Rio, and then Rio's going to have to turn to the team to try to take her down.
Nice.
Yeah.
So far, I still see him as the villain.
Yeah. That's something you're going to have to get over real quick. Because
Yeah.
it's definitely Misaki. She's definitely the main villain.
Yeah, totally.
100%.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
Do you think they're gonna have hate doing it?
No.
Oh.
I don't
Really?
know. Yeah, I
mean,
don't know.
They might. It might be the way that she betrays him.
It-
She's like, I'm gonna put it down on you, and then she's like, and by put it down, I mean this knife in your abdomen.
Nice.
And
I
he's
like
like, I gotta work. I'm doing stuff.
I like it. I like where your head's at.
Yeah.
Starman 934 says maybe Five's sister was adopted by Truffaut.
Ooh.
Oh, so my prediction is when last season we had Afa, I don't remember what her name was on this show.
Yes.
Who?
So last season there was a woman who was looking for Emily Colburn, which is Five's real name.
Right.
And the woman used to be on Lost Girl, and on Lost Girl her character's name was Afa.
Yes.
So therefore I call her Afa.
Right.
I don't remember her name on the show. This is the
Doesn't
problem
matter.
with when I
It's fine.
make my own names.
Yes.
She has Five's sister,
Okay.
and or is Five's sister.
Oh, like an older sister.
Yeah, I assumed the sister was older because the sister was adopted when Five was a baby.
Mm-hmm.
So because we have the information that she was a baby and the other one was adopted, I
Yeah,
assume
they
it was
must
older.
have been older. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless it was also a baby.
Is that lady
Yeah.
still alive?
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, we burnt some bridges before we got to the plot part of them.
But okay, I could see that. I think the last time we interacted with her was when she left
With Eric's.
Eric's, yeah. Got it.
Eric's. Any final thoughts?
Ah, man.
No.
I'm so full of thoughts and feelings and emotions, but mostly just negative at Misaki.
Great.
And
So
positive
hold
at the
those
team.
inside.
Yep.
Yep.
You got
Any
it.
final thoughts from Melizzi correcting me?
Correcting you. He says Alicia Renaud. And yes, she's
Renaud?
still alive.
Was it Renaud?
Yeah, Renaud.
I think
Probably.
it was Renaud.
And she's still alive.
Okay, great. So I hold my prediction, Renaud. I have to figure out how to say that one.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you all so much for joining us. We have been your Dark Matter After show. We will be here every week, but between then and now and then, I'm so out of it. Andrew?
I'm Andrew. You can find me on the internet at Andrew Mena. Or if you want to Google me, just Google me. I'll be there.
Okay, Tauri?
I'm Tauri J. Miller. You can find me at Tauri J. That's TURIJAY. That's on Twitter and Instagram. And you can also find me here on AfterBuzz TV on the Doctor Who After Show at 8 o'clock Pacific Daytime.
Tonight.
Yes, tonight,
Sundays.
Pacific Daylight Time.
Okay.
Tonight.
I'm Yael Tygiel. I'm everywhere at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL. And you can find me all summer long on the ABTV Sci-Fi Summer Slate. That's right, we're doing Winona Earp right before this one, Dark Matter. And in 3 weeks, Killjoys joins the lineup. So I will be on all 3 shows. Find me there. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
See you next week, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Basil.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.